Now we're in the beat right now. I'm gonna actually be mixing this thing, and I need to see something. Okay. Um, I normally like to start off with the drums. Actually, that's how I always start off with the drums. So I don't even need that. You know what? This right here is a really really good plugin, but I don't have too much care for it at this point anymore. I say that because um, it's actually getting in the way of my mix, and I have this as a default template setup. So every time I open up Maschine, it opens up with that particular sausage fattener on the drums, and I need to actually take that off the template and then resave it because I don't even want that a part of the mix every single time. So let's get to it then. I normally just mute everything, of course. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? Where the sound at, man?
Trap monsters, baby.
I have all the drums, I have all the sounds, and actually bust two effectrix. So when I'm muting the solo, and I gotta make sure that effectrix is also soloed as well, so I can actually hear the sound. All right, let's get to it then. So what I normally do, let me corner off. Nice little corner of the beat, and start working on the frequencies and everything. We already went over the leveling. Actually, this is loud as fuck. And what I'm gonna do with this bass end right here is side chain it to the kick. I don't want to squash my transits by having a fast attack or anything like that. And actually, I'm going to lighten up on the release time as well. See? And what it's actually doing is every time that kick hit is ducking. That's what you call ducking. To let the kick actually come through over the 808. You hear I got that pumping sound to it. Let me get that out of there. Actually, I normally just EQ first. Cut all the frequencies out that I don't really want in it. And I'll move that above the compressor. processing and cutting and boosting, you want to do all that first. Keep more of the bass in, and I want the kick to be more of the punchier. So I'm cutting a lot of the frequencies. Cause this one, the 808 just for its subbiness. That's all I want it for. Same thing with the kick. I want to put the kick in a better place. A lot of cutting and boosting off top. And since that kick is shining through right here, where am I at? I want to make sure that really it shines through on lower, on, you can see like headphones and my smaller ASI speakers, just to make sure they have some presence in there in the kick. Delete that. These joints down. And you can see in this tutorial, I'm not going to talk as much. I will on some things, but a lot of things you're going to have to really just see, you know what I mean? And use your ears and just see what I'm doing. Now, it ain't done like it's all the time, but this is a lot of the ways how I mix. This is more of the typical way how I mix a lot of my beats, because I know what certain drum tracks, drum samples I use, and how I like to treat them. So. I'm trying to get that hit sound out of them. There we go. Take that frequency out a little bit. sounded good. Okay. Work on this right here. A lot of my hi-hats and open hats and crashes I like to normally leave a little body in them, but not much. You know what? Yeah, I do need to have this on there. Okay. I just wanted to balance it, make it more of a linear sound, because this symbol right here isn't too linear. So get that together. There we go. Just cleaning up everything. Make sure all the frequencies is tamed and balanced. Give a little life to the snare. Sound a little bit more. See how everything sounds? Actually, I might even swap that 808 out right there. Might just do that. Might just do that. But I'm not going to do it during the mixing end of this. I'm going to get everything right and then just try different samples of 808s in it. So. I want to give a little more presence to the ride too, though, on the mid. Where's it at? Right here. Put a little reverb on there too, though. 15 minutes in, well, 16 minutes in, about down there done, because it ain't gonna take me long to do the other stuff. I like to mix in a very simple way. No deep surgical things or anything like that. I like to keep the sounds true to the natural sound, as much as I can to how it naturally sound without getting in the way of any other frequencies. So I cut with the EQ and compress it, make sure it's in its own lane, and of course panning and leveling helps out a lot too. Just to make sure everything sits properly in its own space. So, matter of fact, here's another good tip right here. There's a book, I have it over here, but it's called The Art of Mixing. Check that out, man. I think it costs like $60, man. I got a Guitar Center a few years back, and it gives you better perspective in mixing, and where sounds need to sit at in your mix. You know what I'm saying? And it goes real in depth about everything. And they actually even give you some good references like India Irie, and then they show you in the book itself. It actually show you a graph of like where the instruments and everything were placed at in the mix, and you can go back and listen to that song and actually hear and visually see where each instrument was placed at and where they were leveled at and everything from the song. Just listening to it and then looking at it on the chart. So it's a pretty good book, man. It's some good game in there. The Art of Mixing. I forgot the name of the author, but if you just look it up, The Art of Mixing. And they also even have a tutorial. It's actually a DVD, well, a documentary or whatever. It's in video form on YouTube. So if you just check out, just go on YouTube and just type in The Art of Mixing. I think his like last name is like Gibson or something like that. Something like that. Can't remember, man, but yeah, check that out though. Some real good shit. Turn this ride down. Where's it at? Yeah, motherfucker loud. Snares a little bit. And then what I like to do on the master track really is do some mid to side, and I have one of my best faves for that. Push everything that's low in your middle, even the punching is the high parts. Push them off to the side, boost the master a little. Turn the sides down a little bit. Alright, now let's see how this all sound in conjunction with this stuff right here, which I'm gonna have to turn all down, and I don't know why that's so heavily panned, that one. I ain't did that at all. I ain't did nothing like that. Unless it came through the board. Turn everything down. I know this shit gonna be loud. You know what? I'm gonna put in there though. There it is. It's all about balancing and making sure everything's contained and having good dynamics in your stuff. This is more like the main instrument in the mix, so I'm not gonna pan that. And this kind of complements it. So I'm not gonna really mess with that. It's gonna sit up on it. It's gonna play second up underneath it though. So just a little compression. Come to the keys. Let's set that to the side. Not too far though. And then I'm gonna put a saturator on that as well. And then contain it with compression, light compression, and bring it down. Alright, down there close to 30 minutes in. But this is actually a good timeline. Actually, I kind of keep myself on time about everything. To make sure I ain't spending too much time mixing. It's don't need to. There's not a lot going on. It's only what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tracks outside the drums. You know what I'm saying? So overall, just 4 tracks. So there's no need to spend hours in mixing some easy shit. You know what I'm saying? You already know what you need to do. You need to cut frequencies to make sure everything is sitting in place in the mix, pan it, level it, contain it. If you need to distort it, add any kind of effect or anything, that's what you need to do. Put delay, reverb, whatever in there, and you good. So this is more of the basic end of me mixing. I can go surgical and get more detailed in a lot of stuff if needed to be, but this is pretty simple, easy track, so there's no need for all that. And this is basically for tutorial purposes too, so not to say that I don't care about the beat or anything like that, but there's no real need to go serious hard in the mixing end of this right here because it's not that much to work with. And I get this lead right here. Okay. Sounded weird at first. I thought I was tripping. Okay. And actually, in this right here, I want to boost that, the high in that. Because it's more of a lead sound. I'm not going to be saturating that.
Trap monsters, baby.
Let me get that together. Always.
Trap monsters, baby. Trap monsters, baby. Trap monsters, baby. Trap monsters, baby. Trap monsters, baby.
All right, so that's then there 30 minutes. 360, yeah. 3 minutes. So 30 minutes. I'm talking about 3 minutes. 30 minutes tripping. And mixing, basically. Let me go here and make sure all my levels is right. That's one thing I like to do. Come here, and then I am going for here. Now in this plugin right here, I'm actually able to see my dynamics, be able to read my dynamics where they at, what I need to do from there. For some reason it always throws my preset folder way over here on my other screen. So okay, that's what I'm looking for right there. should be able to click out of it. I don't know why it's not doing that. That's weird. Okay.
Trap monsters, baby.
Like I said, I'm gonna change that 808 out. That thing is, I don't like. For some reason, it's just I don't like that one. All right. So basically, that's the gist of how I mix. Outside that 808, I'm not too much digging, but I'm gonna go in and change that out. But for the most part, in a nutshell, this is how I do it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I'll do some EQ matching on the master fader, and because I always want to leave headroom. I know you're probably like, man, why the fuck this shit ain't loud like that? Well, I want to leave headroom in there. I'm not gonna master or anything like that. I'm just gonna leave headroom in it. It's at a good level, as you can see. It's not clipping. It's not got no digital distortion in it, and it definitely has its dynamics right here. You know what I'm saying? You're able to see the dynamics. You're actually able to see the overall loudness um, over the whole thing, and short term loudness. See all those meters right there, and to where you'll see that I actually have some good headroom in there for vocals to go in, and it ultimately be a good song. I'm gonna put a demo of it at the end of this video, so check it out. I'm gonna change out the 808 or whatnot. But till next time, it's your guy King David. Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe. Peace.
Trap